Luke Skywalker and Han Solo rescued the princess, destroyed the Death Star, but their story didn't end there. Now, the creators of the biggest smash hit of all time bring you the next episode in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back. Continuing story of our band of heroes: Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca. And introducing Lando Calrissian. It's an epic of romance, of heroes and villains, they cross trackless voids to unknown worlds. A galactic odyssey against oppression. Big, new, sprawling space adventure in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back. Coming to your galaxy next summer.
Beyond the darkness, beyond the human evolution, is Khan, a genetically superior tyrant. Exiled to a barren planet, banished by a starship commander he is destined to destroy. Left for dead, he has survived.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. There she is. There she is. Fire!
Shield's collapsing, Captain.
Can you be major power? A few shots, son.
Not enough against their shields.
The base is stubborn.
Scotty, I need warp speed in 3 minutes or we're all dead.
I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me. Marooned for all eternity. Buried alive. Buried alive. Shaman! Shaman!
At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Opens at a theater near you, June 4th.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip. With a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you're seeing octopus in the neighborhood. Surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at your intestine, goes right to the sea. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic scuba. Step inside, it's a wilder ride. Come on, ride on the magic scuba.
Pass me that one next, Phoebe. Okay, Ralphie.
It's going to be a model of the solar system. Neat, huh, Janet?
I hate to tell you, Cousin Arnold, but when my class built one, the sun was so huge we had to hang it from the flagpole. And you had all 9 planets? That's right, Keisha. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. My class already studied the solar system.
I bet you your class didn't learn about the aliens that live on the planets.
For your information, Ralphie, Earth is the only planet that can support life as far as we know.
And how far do you know?
Really far, because I got straight A's on all my tests, and this proves it.
If you already know so much, Janet, why did you come to visit our class?
Because Arnold told me all about your field trips, Dorothy Ann.
What did he say?
That they were, and I quote, highly unusual. And you know what I said? Prove it.
She's really nice once you get to know her.
Oh, good morning, class. Have you all met Arnold's cousin, Janet?
Yes, Miss Frizzle. My teacher doesn't dress like that.
That's nothing. Sometimes the frizz looks totally outrageous.
Well, since we're lucky enough to have a guest today, I'd say it's a perfect time for a field trip.
Hey, cuz, now's your chance to prove it.
I wonder where we're going today. Inside a rotting log. Been there. To the bottom of the ocean. Done that.
We're going to the planetarium? Hardly unusual, Arnold.
The frizz taking us on a normal field trip? Believe me, that's unusual.
How odd. Closed today.
Closed?
Well, looks like we'll just have to go back to school.
Oh, no! Some field trip, Arnold. You know what? My teacher would have called ahead because my teacher plans ahead. My teacher never makes mistakes. My teacher is a zillion times better than
Nobody is better than Ms. Frizzle.
Oh, yeah? Prove it. Stop the bus!
Yes, Arnold?
Isn't there, someplace else you could take us?
You mean another planetarium?
Well, sort of, but bigger.
Bigger?
You know, the big one.
Oh, Arnold, why didn't I think of that? T-5 and counting. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
What's happening? A field trip! Into outer space? Highly unusual.
Welcome to outer space, class. The only planetarium open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And how are all my astronauts doing?
We're weightless! We're in trouble! No, Arnold, we're in orbit around the Earth.
Let's see now. We are just about there. Wonderful! Let the tour begin. We're coming up to the sun.
Look how huge it is!
Class, are you all wearing your special heavy-duty sunblock 8000 sun goggles?
I wonder how many Earths would fit in the sun.
Over 1 million. Hold on to your goggles.
Yeah!
So, class, we've traveled from Earth, around the sun, and now we are on our way to
Mercury, the closest planet to the sun. When I tell my class, they're gonna be so jealous.
don't you, Janet?
We hardly weigh anything compared to my old planet Earth.
I wonder if that means there's less gravity pulling on us here.
Exactly, Keisha. Good thinking. Come along, class. Follow the bouncing lizard. This way, please.
Bet I can jump higher than you, Dorothy Ann.
You're on.
I won first place in my class jumping contest. Here's my blue ribbon to prove it. Wait till I tell my class I won the jumping contest on Mercury, too.
But you know what they're gonna say?
What?
Prove it.
How on earth? I mean, how am I gonna prove I was on Mercury?
Man, the aliens on Mercury sure make big footprints.
Nothing can live on Mercury, Ralphie. It's too hot and dry during the day.
And according to my research, way below freezing at night.
And day or night, there's no air, which makes it extremely difficult to breathe.
Well, something had to make tracks this big.
Something did, Ralphie. Meteorites. Meteorites are pieces of stone or iron that fall from space.
Come along, class.
If the ones that hit the planet are called meteorites, what do you call the ones that miss?
What?
Meteorites! Wow! Janet, what are you doing? Hey, watch it!
Eureka! My very own meteorite. When I show this to my class, it'll prove I was on Mercury.
Oh, Janet.
Right on top us! Wahoo!
We're now approaching
Venus, the second planet from the sun. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait! Cool, Venus has clouds just like Earth.
Wow, what a view.
I think I'll go sit down now.
class.
Hey, I feel like I weigh the same here as I do on Earth.
That's because Venus is about the same size as Earth and has about the same gravity.
Come on, Arnold.
Check out those weird clouds.
Oh, good, a little rain will cool the place down.
Except that's not rainwater in those clouds, Wanda. It's sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid?
Mm-hmm. It's a deadly poison. Oh, we're perfectly safe, as long as we keep our spacesuits on.
I like rocks, but this is ridiculous. Do you have to have all of these?
Absolutely. If this doesn't prove I was on Venus, nothing will.
We're now passing through the orbit of the third planet, which is Earth.
Look, it's so beautiful. And there's air we can breathe.
And it's not too hot or not too cold.
The only one that supports life.
And coming up is Mars. The fourth planet, right, Ms. Frizzle?
Very good, Janet. Ooh, you certainly do know your planets.
I got straight A's on all my reports.
We know enough already.
Ah, here we are, class. Take a look at Mars. How marvelous.
It looks like the whole place is rusting.
No wonder it's called the Red Planet.
As you can see, the soil here is colored by red dust, which has iron in it.
Look at those cliffs of ice.
Ice climbing, anyone? Wow!
No thanks. Too cold. Too slippery.
Too right. Who wants to waste time climbing up an old ice cap anyway? Come on, cuz we've got work to do.
Maybe I should have stayed home today.
We've made it to the top.
I wonder if Mars could have been another Earth if it had water and wasn't so cold.
Maybe, but as I always say, Mars is the best place for ice cream.
Ice cream? Where?
Here, ice scream!
Let's go! Ice cream!
That's the last ice block.
Great! Now for some red dust.
On Earth, I had simple little chores. Emptying waste baskets, feeding the fish, clearing the table.
The only thing is, we've been to Mercury, Venus, and Mars so far, and we haven't seen a single...
Alien!
Tell it we surrender!
Hi, guys. Which way's the bus?
Arnold! I knew it was him the whole time.
Mars, ice, and dust. Enough to prove we were on Mars. No need to thank me.
I don't think there's much chance of that, Janet.
Look, a flying potato!
Huh? That's no potato. It's an asteroid, Ralphie. A hunk of space rock, smaller than a moon, but bigger than a meteorite.
It's part of the asteroid belt, a ring of asteroids which divides our solar system into the inner and outer planets.
What happened? An asteroid! I gotta have one. Please, it'll only take me a second.
Watch out! What was that?
What happened? What's going on?
Don't worry, class. Just an unexpected orbital interruption. Let's just see where we are, shall we?
The map! It's gone!
We're lost in space! We're lost in space!
As I always say, there's nothing a good space mechanic can't fix. Wrench!
Wrench!
Pliers!
An asteroid. I mean pliers.
Screwdriver!
An asteroid! Perfect proof!
Miss Frizzle, we've got half of the map now.
Good. One more adjustment.
Miss Frizzle! Miss Frizzle!
Keep your claw on that button, Liz. Up, up, and away!
Bad news.
Janet, we're not only lost in space.
We're lost in space without a teacher!
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Miss Frizzle to class, Miss Frizzle to class, come in. No reason to panic. I'd never leave you. I'm right here. I'll give you a hint. I'm headed for one of the outer planets.
But that's the half of the map that we don't have.
Oh, good. You can fill it in as you go along. You've got a navigator who knows the neighborhood.
We do?
Of course, Janet.
I wonder if Miss Frizzle's down there.
Wow, which planet is that?
One of the gas giants. What is that red blotch? It's a storm, thousands of miles wide, and the only planet with a big red spot is Jupiter.
Jupiter, the 5th planet.
Oh, they did it! Way to go!
Now, if I could just get some of that red spot, it would prove I've been to Jupiter.
Miss Frizzle to bus, Miss Frizzle to bus, over. Jupiter is the largest planet, but don't worry, Carlos, because I'm not on it.
Then where are you?
I've got to have some of that red spot! We're out of control! Janet! Pull up! Pull up!
It's all yours, Ralphie.
Whoa!
have proof, right?
I knew I should have stayed home today.
Miss Frizzle to class, Miss Frizzle to class. Come in, please.
Miss Frizzle, Janet almost got us. I got them some of Jupiter's red spot.
Did you say red hot? You're not even warm yet. The outer planet I'm on is very cold and dark. The colder you get, the warmer you'll be to finding me.
Oh, great. Now it's a riddle. Off we go again.
Hey, look! Another planet! It's beautiful! But where are we? It's gotta be Saturn, and there's no other gas giant with such beautiful rings. Saturn, the 6th planet. Well, it must be cold down there because Saturn is pretty far away from the sun.
But Miss Frizzle said cold and dark.
It could be very, very dark on Saturn.
Oh, no, you don't. You just want to grab more stuff.
Hey, I'm just trying to help. If you want to play Let's Find Miss Frizzle without a map for the rest of your life, that's fine with me.
Janet's right. Miss Frizzle could be on Saturn, couldn't she?
Okay, Arnold, but it's your job to keep your crazy cousin under control.
Miss Frizzle to bus, Miss Frizzle to bus, over. Oh, Liz and I can't wait to show you all the stars we can see out here. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Come back! What about a hint?
She just gave us a hint, Ralphie.
She did?
Yeah, she can see the stars. Which means she can't be on Saturn. She can never see the stars through all those storms and clouds. Planet number 7, coming up. That must be Uranus. You can tell by its tilted faint ray rings and its blue-green gases. See, Kaz, Uranus doesn't do a thing for me, so you can get off me, okay?
Sorry, Janet, but I have to stay on top of the situation.
The Frizz couldn't see the stars through those clouds either.
No way she's on Uranus. To the next planet. Wait!
I need proof! And we need Miss Frizzle. Step on it, Wanda. Hey, watch it!
Neptune! Please! We gotta stop at Neptune! It's my favorite planet! The 8th planet, Neptune.
Looks like another planet surrounded by gases.
And it's blue. Blue! My favorite color! Forget it, Janet. Miss Frizzle couldn't see the stars from down there. Go, Wanda! No! Now where do we go? She's not on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. That means there's only one planet left.
Which one?
I'll tell you after Arnold gets off of
Right, listen carefully. Miss Frizzle is on the farthest planet from the sun, Pluto. To Pluto! Pluto's cold and dark, all right.
And clear. They've got to be here.
Look! There they are! Yay!
Good work, class. We knew you'd find us. Right, Liz?
Sure can see the stars from here. I wonder where the sun is.
See that tiny star over there?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's it.
That's the sun?
Mm-hmm.
No wonder Pluto's so cold and dark. Look how far away the sun is.
So, the colder we got, the warmer we got to finding you.
It was a good hint, if I do say so myself.
I got enough stuff for all of us to prove we made it to Pluto. Huh? Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Are you kidding?
There's no room in there. All right, be that way. Whoa! There's no way I'm going home without my stuff.
There's no way I'm going home without you.
It's proof. Nobody will believe me without it.
believe you. They'll believe you. Janet, you want proof? I'll give you proof. Here's proof of what'll happen to you if you stay here with your stuff. Arnold, no! Oh, Buzz! Back to Earth! And step on it! Shoo! Thanks, Janet.
Arnold, it's the least I can do. If it weren't for you, I'd still be on Pluto with all my stuff. I don't need to prove anything. That was the most amazing field trip ever. You know it. I know it. If no one else believes me, that's their problem.
Right on!
Way to go, Janet.
You said it.
Shoo!
Attention all students. We've just learned that scientists have made their first contact with an alien from outer space.
An alien.
Wow.
Ralphie was right.
Oh, my.
The alien, claiming to be from Pluto, has called to complain about a pile of litter that was recently dumped on his planet.
Ralphie!
As I always say, class, you're out of this world.
Is this the magic school bus? Is this the magic school bus? Magic school bus? Magic the magic school bus? You mean magic school bus? Magic school bus? Magic school bus? Magic school bus? I want the magic school bus! I want the magic school bus!
Hello, Magic School Bus.
Don't you mean The Twilight Zone? That show had more science fiction than fact.
Well, we realize a school bus would make a lousy spacecraft.
I'll give you that one, but only because you call it a magic school bus. But there's no way any spacecraft could visit all 9 planets in a day.
Well, if we did it in real time, you would be a grown-up by the time we got to Pluto.
Speaking of Pluto, scientists don't really know what its surface is like.
You're right, but until one of you kids grows up to be an astronomer or an astronaut and figures out what Pluto is like, we have to guess.
Also, Pluto right now isn't the 9th planet from the sun. Until 1999, it's temporarily inside Neptune's orbit.
Right again.
What about those funny-looking sun goggles? I happen to know you should never look directly at the sun. Hurts your eyes.
You're one bright kid.
So how come some of the time the kids were floating around in the bus?
Well, when the bus was coasting with the rocket engines off, they were weightless, like astronauts.
Oh, yeah. So how come they were able to walk around in the bus sometime?
Well, would you, believe an artificial gravity geoscopic confabulator?
No way.
Okay, you got me. We just fudged it.
And don't think I didn't notice that you had all the planets lined up in a neat little row.
Oh, that. Well, it's true that planets are very rarely all lined up like that.
Yeah, like almost never.
But it's so much easier to keep track of them all that way. You wouldn't want us to have forgotten one, would you?
And another thing, if an astronaut ever does make it to Pluto, she'd better not take her helmet off.
You think they'd end up with more than a cold, huh?
She'd end up a block of ice, or worse. Which reminds me why I called in the first place.
Yes?
I'm still waiting for someone to get that pile of litter off my planet.
Surfing on a sine wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at your intestine, take your second right past Mars on the magic school bus. Alligator nostril, climb on the magic school bus. Make a plankton too. On our magic school bus. Drop the river of lava on the magic school bus. Such a fine thing to do. So strap your bones right to the seat. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic school bus. Step inside, it's a wild ride. Come on, ride on the magic school bus.
On December 16th, 1966, Diane Fossey left a life of comfort and privilege and went alone into the mountains of Africa.
Some of them believe a woman living alone up there has to be married.
She was determined to make contact with the wild mountain gorillas and save them from extinction. Someone wanted her stopped. In a land of beauty, wonder, and danger, she risked her life.
Get down! Don't move!
She would follow a dream.
You, my beautiful, are becoming a legend.
And fall in love.
Do you think I'm weird?
Yes, I do, absolutely, without question. I also think you are wonderful.
But she would risk it all.
No!
To save the gorillas in the mist.
Are you responsible for kidnapping this animal?
Bill of sale, madam.
What are you doing? Give my gorillas the protection they're entitled to.
Your gorillas.
Am I a murderer? Did I do this? This won't stop until those butchers are stopped!
Universal Pictures and Warner Brothers present Sigourney Weaver, Ryan Brown, in the true story of one woman's incredible courage. Gorillas in the Mist. Robert Campbell has gone deep into the Amazon rainforest, into a world of astonishing beauty, a land of ancient mystery, where he's made an amazing discovery.
What is it you think you've got?
I don't think. I know.
You found the cure for cancer, and all you can say is, I know?
There's just one problem.
You did what?
I've lost it. Haven't you ever lost anything? You pass your car keys? Well, it's rather like that. Now you have it, now you don't.
A miracle without proof is only a miracle.
Now they must rediscover that miracle.
None of the new samples work.
Before it all disappears.
We need help.
Don't you presume to tell me how to follow up. Now you move your road through here, and we've lost it.
Hollywood Pictures presents Sean Connery and Lorraine Bracco in a John McTiernan film, Medicine Man. He turned his back on civilization.
Now I understand why you don't want to leave.
Only to discover he had the power to save it.
They obviously worship you.
It's the other way around.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow, reading rainbow.
Hi, are you ready for an adventure that you will never forget? Well, come on. heading for one of the most amazing places on Earth, the Amazon rainforest. From the sky, you can see how big the rainforest really is. Except for the occasional blue river, it's just green, as far as the eyes can see. And if you're wondering why we're going to the rainforest, the answer is in a book. It's the true story of a shaman, or a medicine man, who uses the plants of the rainforest to treat the illnesses of his people, and how he passes his knowledge on to an apprentice or student. It's called The Shaman's Apprentice.
The Shaman's Apprentice, a tale of the Amazon rainforest. Written by Lynn Cherry and Mark J. Plotkin. Illustrated by Lynn Cherry. Read by Susan Sarandon. In the Tirio Indian village of Quamala, deep in the Amazon rainforest, Kamanya lay in his hammock, burning with fever. His mother sat nearby. She spoke gently to her husband. "It is time. Take him." He picked up the boy and carried him to the hut of the shaman, the medicine man. Softly chanting, the shaman Natala disappeared into the forest. He returned with leaves, roots, and bark, which he put into a pot of water boiling on the fire. Stirring and singing, he asked the sickness to leave the boy. Then Natala removed the pot from the fire and poured the warm medicine into the boy's mouth. When the boy awoke, the fever was gone. As the years passed, Kamanya never forgot that the shaman saved his life. The village of Quamala rested on the banks of the beautiful Sipaliwini River. Unlike the other boys, Kamanya often slipped away and silently followed the shaman as he collected the plants from which he made his powerful medicines. Kamanya hoped that he could learn Natala's wisdom and one day become the next shaman. Natala was pleased with the boy and showed Kamanya which plants he used for healing. One day, a man from another tribe came down the river. He staggered from his canoe up the riverbank and into the Tirio village. He told the Tirios that strangers had come to his people's village in search of gold. These miners had dug up the ground, and they carried a disease so strong that the tribe's shaman could not cure it. A few days later, the man passed on to the spirit world. Soon, people in the Tirio village became sick with the strange illness, and Natala could not cure it. Several months later, another canoe came down the river. The tall people who entered the village had the whitest skin the Tirios had ever seen, and hair the color of straw. Their clothes covered their entire bodies. These white people were missionaries who had come to convert the Tirios to their religion. They gave the sick people little white pills, and soon everyone in the village felt well. They called this sickness malaria, and said the little white pills contained quinine, malaria's treatment. The missionaries gave the Tirios new clothes to wear, taught them how to read and write, and translated the Bible into Trio. The white people's medicine had done what the shaman's medicine could not. So now, the Tirios believed that the missionaries' God must be more powerful than their own gods. Kamanya watched sadly as the shaman lost his place of honor within the tribe and at the council fire. He told Natala, "Tamil, wise one, the day must come when they again see that you are the wisest of them all." One day, while Kamanya was fishing, he saw another stranger coming up the river, a young woman accompanied by a guide from another village. Kamanya brought her to see the chief. The woman, Gabriella, explained that she had come to study the healing magic of the forest plants. The chief told her about the malaria and asked why she wanted to learn their medicine when hers was so much stronger. "Do you know where the treatment for malaria comes from?" Gabriella asked. She explained that missionaries had learned about quinine, the medicine in the white pills, from the forest people of Peru. This healing medicine comes from the bark of the cinchona tree, she said. The chief was astonished. A shaman's medicine had saved them after all. Every day, Gabriello followed the shaman through the forest and learned about the hundreds of plants he used for medicines. Plants to cure earaches and stomach aches, snake and insect bites. One day, Natala noticed Gabriella scratching her elbow. Going over to a weedy tree, he peeled the bark away. He spread the bright red sap on Gabriella's arm. By the next day, the fungus and itching had disappeared. After several months, Gabriella left. But every year she returned to Kwamala to learn, with Kamanya, more and more of the shaman's wisdom. Now Gabriella could speak effortlessly in their language, and on the next visit, she had a special gift, a book that she had made for them. She carefully unwrapped her handbook of all their medicinal plants and said, "Now you have 2 books in your language, the Bible and this, the wisdom of Natala. Now your people will never forget the shaman's wisdom. Perhaps one day, the people of the world may benefit from Natala's knowledge of the healing powers of the rainforest." The next day, Kamanya visited Gabriella and said, "The chief thinks your book is very important. He has asked Natala to teach a young man of our tribe all he knows. Natala has chosen me." Gabriella left the Tirio village with a full and happy heart. She would continue to return to Kwamala year after year and learn from her wise mentor. And she knew that while she was away, the old shaman's work would continue with Kamanya. And so it was that Kamanya became the shaman's apprentice.
There it is. There's Kwamala. And it looks a lot like the pictures in the book. It's almost as if the book itself is coming to life.
Hey, Lamar, how you doing?
How are you?
Fine. Glad you made it, man.
Good to see you. You all right?
I'm doing just fine.
Great. This is my friend Mark Plotkin. He's not only one of the authors of the book, he's a scientist and an absolute expert at rainforest plants.
Man, I'm glad you made it.
Me too.
You're just in time. There's a special place I want to take in somebody really special you gotta meet.
Really?
Yeah.
Right away?
Let's do it.
Hit the ground running. That's what I like. When you visit Kwamala, the first thing you do is meet the chief, or Grandman, and get his permission to explore the village. Mark speaks Trio, the language of the Tirio Indians, so he'll introduce me and explain why I'm here.
Tsunami mati, lavar, lavar, lavar. One biggie suma.
Grandman, I want you to know that I'm very happy to be here in your village and among your people. I've been looking forward to this trip for a long time.
Then I go talking ala ding suma na America. Opa you son.
Yeah.
So I said that you wanted to see how things were here, and then you were going to tell all the children back home how things were here in the jungle. So
it's also customary to offer a small gift to the chief, like this machete. He accepts and grants me permission to visit.
Thank you.
Because Kwamala lies near the equator, every day is like the hottest day of summer. So families live in open huts instead of houses. I'm using this video camera to keep a record of just how different everything is. Here, they sleep in hammocks instead of beds. And those hammocks are woven from cotton they've grown just outside the village. And with leaves from the rainforest, villagers can make everything from a roof to a basket. Writing what I'm seeing and feeling gives me another chance to share my experiences with my friends and family back home. And just like the Shaman's Apprentice tells the true story of Kamanya, maybe my journal can tell people even more about what life is really like here. With only a couple of feathers, some string, a shaft of bamboo, a knife, and knowledge that's been passed on from generation to generation, Jacopo here is making one of the oldest tools known to man. It's an arrow, and it will be used with a bow to hunt or fish for food. After all, there aren't any grocery stores in Kwamala. There's just the rainforest. He doesn't use a measuring tape or any of the tools we're used to. Just his knife and his touch, his sight, and his feel. Knowledge like Jacopo's has to be passed on from one generation to the next. Jacopo was once like this young boy. And one day the boy will be like Jacopo, teaching the ancient art of arrow making to another generation. And while hunting with bows and arrows is one way to get their meals, the people here have found another source of food in the cassava root. But first, they have to dig the roots from the ground. Then, pack them into hand-woven baskets. And carry the heavy packs to the village. It's hard work. And it's just the start. Next, they peel the roots and prepare them for grinding. Cassava makes up a large part of the diet of the Tirio Indians. And here in Kwamala, the women teach the young girls how to turn cassava root into bread. The trick is to grind the cassava and not your hands. Once the roots have been ground into a mushy paste, the paste is packed into a matapi, a really clever device made completely from rainforest materials. The matapi is used to strain the liquid out of the ground-up cassava. Next, the strained paste is laid out, kind of like a pizza crust. And finally, the cassava bread is then thrown on the roof to finish baking in the hot jungle sun. This has been an incredible trip. I've been here just a few days, and yet I've seen and learned so much about the Tirio Indians. Today, I went to school and learned a song in trio. And I got my face painted like a real Tirio tribesman. I'm initiated. And I got to watch as the villagers had a special celebration in honor of the chief. And even though I'm just a visitor here, they invited me to join in the festivities. They didn't have to ask twice. Later, I discovered that a dugout canoe and a paddle are the preferred way to get around the rainforest. And I think I may have experienced Kwamala's version of rush hour traffic. Another fantastic day. And tomorrow should be even better. Mark told me we're actually going to meet someone from his book. But he won't tell me who it is. I can hardly wait to find out. Mark, so where are you taking me?
Feel free.
a minute. I recognize him. This is Kamanya, isn't it? This is Kamanya. He has grown up and he's become a village healer. Kamanya, I'm Levar. Really nice to meet you. Hey, Mark, does Kamanya have his own apprentice now?
He's teaching his twin sons, so they're learning his medicine so the circle remains unbroken.
And is this his patient then?
He's got a headache, a cold, kind of a flu. He says the medicine is in the rainforest, and he's inviting us to follow him in search of that medicine.
Really? Yeah, I'd love to go.
Okay. Mpa.
Entering the rainforest is like entering another world. It's filled with wildlife of all kinds. Of course, it's also filled with plants and trees, and it's Kamanya's knowledge of how these plants and trees can be used as medicines that we want to learn more about.
This is Ponega. It's a tree of the nutmeg family, and he's telling the kids that when you make a cut and then you rub the sap on your lips, Indians use this literally from head to toe. This is one of the greatest medicines in the Amazon forest.
Really?
I would say it's one of the greatest medicines in the world.
So it's
mosquito
topical.
bites.
It's not really
it's
internal.
Topical. It's not something you take, you know?
Right, for mosquito bites, cuts.
Mosquito bites, athlete's foot, all sorts of itches and rashes, scalp problems.
Wow. All from a tree.
All from a tree.
Here, under this leafy canopy, Kamanya has taught Mark much of what he knows about rainforest medicines and treatments. Like this water vine, which is not only good for quenching your thirst, but it can be used as a medicine too.
This is what they call a talakana. It's good for colds, good for coughs. Give it a sip. It's a preventative medicine. Really? They drink it not when they're sick, but before they get sick.
It's great.
The last one. The last drop.
We follow Kamanya deeper into the rainforest, just as he must have followed Natala when he was a boy. I feel so lucky to be here.
They use the leaves and also the roots for toothache. They jam it up, it's full of essential oils which kill the toothache.
Kill pain in the teeth, huh?
Kill pain in the tooth, yeah. This is a woody vine they call kapi. It produces a red sap, and it's also used to keep wounds from getting infected.
So the rainforest is really just like one big drugstore. If you know what you're looking for, like Kamanya does, you know, you can really go shopping for any number of medicines. Like we would go to a supermarket.
You know, LeVar, we go down the aisles of the supermarket or the drugstore at home, but this is like going down those aisles right here because all these drugs are here.
But our mission won't be complete until we find the plant that can help Kamanya's young patient. This is it?
This is it. This is the plant she was looking for to treat the little boy.
Great. Good job.
Well, the patient's waiting. Huh.
So with the special plant now in hand, it's time to head back to the village where a sick boy waits. They're giving the boy a tea made from the leaves we collected in the rainforest. It's gonna make him feel better. It's just like in the book. Kamanya is not only passing his knowledge of the rainforest on to his two boys, he's teaching all the children of Kwamala about the jungle's many plants and trees that can be used to prevent or treat illness. In the rainforest, children learn the skills and traditions of tribal life through their parents. Knowledge is passed from one generation to the next by word of mouth. But through books, we can learn the skills and traditions of many different kinds of people. So, if you want to branch out and add to your tree of knowledge, then here are 3 books that you can plant on your reading list. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Hi, I'm Ariel. Can you imagine living in a house on stilts or eating banana leaves? Some people do these interesting things and more. They're in this book, People in the Rainforest. Rainforest people are expert hunters. This boy uses a bow and arrow to catch fish. Farming is very important in the rainforest. These ladies are making manioc pancakes. Many medicines grow in the rainforest. This man is using a leaf to help his friend feel better. Look at their clothes. They're so colorful. This book is like your own guide to the world's rainforests. I enjoyed it, and so will you. Remember, it's called People in the Rainforest.
Hi, would you like to go on the adventure of a lifetime? Well, if you would, this book is for you. It's called Amazon Diary. This is a story about a boy named Alex and a vacation he will never forget. He's on his way to the Amazon jungle. Alex's plane has to make an emergency landing. He's rescued by a tribe in the rainforest. He learns about their ways and how they live. Here's a tribesman fixing the roof. Here they are painting their faces for a special celebration. Believe it or not, that's lunch. Ew. I'm Adam, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book. So go to your library and check it out. Amazon Diary. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Ia, and I'd like to show you a beautiful place with all sorts of colors, sounds, and amazing animals. That place is the rainforest, and it's in this book called Welcome to the Greenhouse. The rainforest is like a greenhouse. It's home to many animals and plants. See the flash of a blue hummingbird. There are lizards in rainbow colors. Look at those fantastic butterflies. Chirp, chirp, sings the frogs. The toucan says, creak, creak, creak. Shh, there's an ocelot on the prowl. The rainforest is an incredible place. If you want to visit there without leaving your home, read Welcome to the Greenhouse.
One of the things I appreciate most about life here in Kwamala is that it is so completely different from ours. Life is so simple here. They don't have telephones, there are no computers, no television, they don't even have electricity, and yet none of that seems to matter to the people here. They have none of the things that we think are essential for life, and yet they don't seem to need them. My journal and my video have helped me capture some incredible moments and amazing images that will help me remember and share the story of these wonderful people. By working with the people of Kwamala, Mark is helping to protect and pass on the ancient knowledge of the shamans and the healing power of the rainforest. And guess what? Now you possess some of that knowledge too, and you too can help to pass it on. Iwepa, which means I'll see you next time. Today's Reading Rainbow books are The Shaman's Apprentice by Lynn Cherry and Mark J. Plotkin, illustrated by Lynn Cherry, published by Harcourt Incorporated. People in the Rainforest by Xavier Perota, published by Raintree Steck Von Publishers. Amazon Diary by Hudson Talbot and Mark Greenberg, illustrated by Hudson Talbot, photographs by Mark Greenberg, published by G.P. Putnam Sons, a division of Penguin Putnam Books for young readers. Welcome to the Greenhouse by Jane Yolen, illustrated by Laura Regan, published by G.P. Putnam Sons, a division of Penguin Putnam Books for young readers.
Timmy, lights out. Timmy.
Reading Rainbow is made possible by Barnes & Noble and barnesandnoble.com for minds at play.
Funding also provided by the National Science Foundation, which supports programs that enable children to succeed in science, mathematics, and technology. The Arthur Vining Davis Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
There is a creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws. This is Universal's extraordinary motion picture version of Peter Benchley's best-selling novel, Jaws.
I just found out that a girl got killed here last week. And you knew it. You knew there was a shark out there. You knew it was dangerous, but you let people go swimming anyway.
Did you see that? It's all psychological. You yell barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Is it true that most people get attacked by sharks in 3 feet of water, about 10 feet from the beach?
Yeah. What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.
We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark.
Bad fish. But I'll catch him and kill him.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
This shark, swallow you whole. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's a 20-footer.
25. 3 tons of them.
Hurry up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up now. Don't wait for me. Now! Shoot! What's the tail? Give him room! I can't, he's trying to run! Oh! Cut it quick! I can't hold it! Hurry! Break it up! Brody!
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Jaws. See it before you go swimming.
remember that time? You were pretty drunk. You probably don't remember. But the power went out in that little apartment we had on Orange Street. We were staring at that one little candle, and I said something really dumb, like, that candle is me, like every one of us is out there alone in the dark in this life. And you just lit up another candle and you put it beside mine and you said, no, see, that's me. That's me. And we stared at the two candles and then... Well, if you remember any of this, I'm sure you remember the next part. But there are two candles in the dark. I'm with you. I'll always be with you, but I know how alone you feel. Alone in all that cold blackness. But I'm there in the dark with you.
Sensors are picking up a highly unusual life form.
What are the coordinates, Foster?
Well, Captain, according to the data, it's located right outside the ship.
Outside the ship? I better take a look myself. Here, take the controls.
Yes, sir.
Take a look.
What? Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
You and I are scientists. We live on the Earth. And you probably think you know your way around. But I can tell you, you hardly know anything about most of our planet. That's because we hardly know anything about the ocean. It's one of the hardest places to get to. It's enormous, for one thing. To see any of it that's just not right next to the land, we need special tools, like ships. The ocean goes a long way out, and a long way down! I'll be right with you.
I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well. So long and so well. Hey, I like that song.
Are you decent, Bill?
To know the world's ocean, you have to travel vast distances. Take a look at this. It's our great big peel-off ocean globe of science. And I'm gonna peel off the land. You can see it's mostly water. It's 2/3, 71% covered with ocean. And if we include the rivers, lakes, and streams, it's 3/4. 75% of the world is water.
2/3 ocean, 1/3 land.
Now, our first tools for ocean exploration were boats. They can take us all over the world. But to do that kind of traveling takes some thinking. Because when you're out in the middle of the ocean, there are no landmarks. There are no great big trees to help you figure out where you are. It's easy to get just plain lost. Well, we can't see most of the sea. It's below the surface. That's a pressure sensor. We read the pressure right here. Now, the deeper we go, the higher the pressure. Here's why. Let's say the string is the surface of the ocean, and these scales are at the bottom of the ocean. The stacks of pennies are like columns of water. The higher the stack, the more it weighs, and the higher the reading on the scale. The deeper you go in the ocean, the more water there is above you, and the higher the pressure. Seawater absorbs light. The deeper we go, the darker it gets. At the bottom, you can't see a thing.
Bill.
Seawater is salty and full of living things. It rots wood, rusts metal, and it can dry out your skin.
Careful. See, I told you.
If you've ever been underwater, like when you go swimming in a pool or the ocean, you've probably noticed that you can't breathe. Ocean exploration is difficult.
People have ventured out to explore the ocean's vast depth and breadth for centuries. And yet, even in this modern age, this powerful and unforgiving force of nature remains on the frontier of scientific inquiry.
We're right here, right on the edge. See, this is Land's End, where the land stops and the ocean begins. So you can go back that way, thousands of kilometers. You'll see lots of roads and buildings and lots of other humans. But if you go that way, thousands and thousands of kilometers, you won't see anything but ocean. Most of it is unexplored. See, all of this right here is all of that right there.
For thousands of years, humans have endeavored to explore beneath the surface of the ocean. The most direct way to study the sea has been to dive right in and explore. Oh, but people are not fish. Underwater, humans have no way to breathe, at least not without special gear.
This is a snorkel. It allows you to breathe with your face underwater. And you might think, why not just get a really long snorkel and dive as deep as you want? Well, it doesn't work, because the water pressure on your chest is higher than the air pressure above the water, and the air won't make it down the tube no matter how hard you breathe. Roll that tape.
Bill Nye, the science guy, now is suited up and is lowering himself into the water, equipped with a 3-meter snorkel through which he is attempting to breathe surface air. He's actually trying to breathe. No, wait a minute, he's signaling no air. Yes, that's what he's saying.
So humans invented this, the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, or scuba. It uses very high-pressure air from this tank and a special valve that lets just the right amount of air into your lungs so that you can breathe underwater. Roll that tape.
Underwater and breathing normally, our brave explorer can swim with the fishes, commune with the natural wonders of the sea. The daily goings-on beneath the surface are at his fingertips. Unfortunately, humans must realize that life underwater is not without its dangers. Life forms well suited to this mysterious environment can pose problems. Ocean exploration continues to be difficult.
The ocean is a harsh environment, an environment that humans aren't too well suited for. So to explore the ocean, we need machines, big machines, ships. Seawater has a lot of chemicals in them. Chemicals that corrode metal. So every once in a while, we have to haul a ship completely out of the water to get it completely clean. This is the main part of a ship, the part you don't see. Now, the bigger the ship, the bigger the propellers. And when you're out in the open ocean, the bigger the ship, the better.
You might think that the bottom of the ocean floor is just a flat, rocky bottom, like at the beach, right? Well, look at this. This blue stuff is like the ocean water that covers 2/3 of our planet. And this stuff here is like the continents, or the land formations above water. Now, these land formations have lots of features, like mountains, canyons, hills, and valleys, right?
Right.
Check this out. It's working. If we drained all the water off the Earth, you could see that the bottom of the ocean is full of mountains, rifts, canyons, valleys, and underwater volcanoes, too. It's a beautiful landscape. I mean, seascape. I mean, ocean floor, land, underwaterscape. Anyway, it's always there. You just can't see it.
Right.
The bottom of the ocean is hard to get to. So how do we know what it looks like? Well, scientists used to drop a weight on a rope or a chain from a ship at the surface. By keeping careful track of how much rope or chain was needed to reach the bottom, scientists could measure the depth of the water. Then, by keeping track of the depth at different parts of the ocean, we can make a map, like this. Now, this method works pretty well, but unless you've got a lot of dots, it's hard to get an accurate picture. Nowadays, scientists use echo-sounding equipment instead of weights. By sending pulses of sound toward the bottom and timing how long it takes for the echoes to come back, we can figure out how deep the ocean is. See, if the bottom of the ocean were shaped like my hand, with ridges and valleys like this, the echoes would come back more quickly from the shallower places, and it would take longer for the echoes to come back from the deeper places. See, it works kind of like this pin toy, with each pin representing a ping of sound. See, there's a picture of the ocean floor.
You can see how deeper water has a higher pressure right at home. Just cut 3 pop bottles, like this. Cut the top and bottom off, but leave the bottom on one of them. Poke a hole in the side of each one. Stick them together to make a long column. Make sure the holes you punched are lined up. Tape them here and here to make the whole column watertight. Whoa! There. Now cut another strip of tape and cover over the holes. There. Now fill it up with water. There.
There.
When you're ready, pull the tape off the holes. There. See? The water comes out the holes. It shoots out the bottom hole the furthest because the water pressure is greater the deeper down you go. That's one of the reasons exploring the ocean is so difficult. Human bodies aren't designed to withstand high pressures. But don't just take my word for it.
Try it! How deep is the ocean? Is it as deep as, say, the Empire State Building is tall? Well, take a look. In some parts of the ocean, like the Mariana Trench, you could stack about 36 Empire State Buildings.
Whoa.
It's 11,000 meters deep, 7 nautical miles straight down. The deepest part of the ocean is as far from the surface as we are from that plane. That's how deep the ocean is. Whew!
That's deep.
The oceans cover over 70% of the Earth's surface. 70%. No matter where you live, the oceans affect you. The oceans affect you. Understanding the oceans help us understand the Earth. Understand the Earth.
This is the Alvin. It's a submersible, as we call it in the ocean exploration biz. It can take 3 scientists into the crushing blue blackness of the abyss and bring them back safely. It's got very bright lights, cameras to record, and arms to reach out and grab stuff, samples we can bring back upstairs. It's cool.
This is the hatch, the pressure door. See how thick that thing is? You need that. You know, if that came open while you were down there, well, it'd be like, just. So, Steve, we're inside the ball here.
We're inside the sphere here, yeah.
It's titanium.
Everything's titanium. It's about 2 inches thick, about 7 foot diameter.
Huh. You take a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we're designed to go down to 4,500 meters. That's about 14,700 some odd feet.
How much pressure is on the outside?
Well, at that depth, it's about 6,600 pounds per square inch pushing in on us.
That's over 400 atmospheres.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
So if that hatch came open, I mean,
that'd be bad. It'd just be like
sort of a.
A lot of people ask, why should they care about the deep sea floor? It's remote. They can't see it unless they go down with Alvin. Well, it turns out that the solid sea floor makes up about 60% of the Earth's solid surface. It's really the largest ecosystem on the face of the Earth. Well, I'm a deep sea biologist. I'm interested in understanding how animals on the ocean floor make a living and how they interact with the sediments. And deep sea is an interesting system in that all the food that's coming down for these animals to eat is raining down from above, either as small particles or as big bodies of animals like fish and sharks and whales that then provide food for animals on the sea floor. The deep ocean is a difficult environment because of high pressure, low temperature, corrosive nature of seawater. One of the ways we deal with this, of course, is we go down with Alvin and we look out of the window or the porthole of Alvin. It's quite surprising. You go down in this elevator all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, but you only have 3 little holes that you could look out and see things on the bottom. We're in the bottom of this huge ocean, but we can only see around 20 or 30 feet, which is only the area of a fair-sized room. And you have a nice, cozy feeling, even though you're on the plains of the largest ecosystem in the world.
This is Jason. It's an ROV, a remotely operated vehicle, a robot, and it's been to parts of the Earth that no human can ever go. It's been to ships that have sunk in 4,000 meters of water. And it's explored ecosystems 6,000 meters deep. And it's taken pictures of animals that probably look as weird to us as this thing looks to them. The whole thing is connected to the surface with this. It's a very strong cable. Scientists up in the control room use this to control the lights, the cameras, and the thrusters. That's the control room, right on the deck of the ship. This is where we control Jason, on the surface, from the deck of the ship. There are 7 kilometers of cable. Jason can go where no person can, where the pressure is crushing, and it's dark and cold. See, we collect all the data right here, record all the video from the cameras. We control it with this joystick. It's like a big video game, except it's real. In Alvin, scientists could reach 86% of the ocean floor. With the remotely operated vehicle Jason, scientists could see 98%. It's pretty cool, huh?
Well, the deep ocean has a lot of pressure. If you take a typical styrofoam coffee cup, there's a lot of airspace inside the plastic that you may not realize is there. Take a styrofoam cup down with Alvin, all the air spaces in the cup become compressed. We don't have a lot of air spaces in our body, so we wouldn't get compressed like the cups, but our physiology would stop working and our eyes would probably bug out and we wouldn't be very happy for more than a couple of seconds.
I'm getting a headache. Oh, fix your headache. Oh!
Exploration of the deep cool ocean. Information, it's an age of ocean. 2/3 of the planet's underneath the salty sea. Getting down below the water, it ain't easy, don't you see? There's the pressure, but there's no light or air. Cold temperature, I must prepare to go down there. So get yourself some scuba or a dive suit or bell. Hop in a submersible and you can see quite well.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you'll excuse me, I've got some ocean floor bioenergy flux to figure out. See ya!
Produced in association with the National Science Foundation.
Now, you may have heard that we know more about the surface of the moon than we do the bottom of the ocean. Well, it's true. Getting to the surface of the moon is a piece of cake. I mean, it's 400,000 kilometers of nothing. A few $billion bucks, and you're there. To get to the bottom of the sea, that's a whole nother thing, okay? First of all, just to go down 10 meters. I mean, there's more pressure difference between the surface of the Earth and 10 meters down than there is between the surface of the Earth and the surface of Mars. So if you even get started down, you need all kinds of pressure hulls. Okay, you gotta have things that can withstand crushing pressure. And then the stuff's got to be corrosion resistant. You know, salt water just eats away at everything, including you and me. And you know, another thing, you got to take air. That's right. You can't breathe down there, or you got to build something that doesn't need to breathe. And everything has got to have lights, bright lights. It's dark, it's cold, it's the sea. Check it, please.
A photographer with an eye for beauty
Okay, great. Let's do one more.
Nice looking lady. Your wife?
Yes. Why'd you ask?
A man of wealth who lives through books.
Charles knows everything. Got a question, ask him.
I seem to retain all these facts, but putting them to any useful purpose is another matter.
Each the essence of the civilized man.
Well, Charles, we're going on an impromptu adventure. You come too.
Well, all that money, never knowing what people value you for. And I think your wife's pretty cute, too.
So, how are you planning to kill me?
Hold on!
But when civilization disappears,
Why do we even think they'll come looking for us?
Our friend's a billionaire. You know what happens when you misplace one?
all they have is each other to rely on.
Most people lost in the wilds, they die of shame because they didn't do the one thing which would have saved their lives. Thinking.
Their will to survive. And the question...
Why would I want to kill you, Charles? Why would I want to do that?
For my wife.
Of where the greatest danger lies.
Take it easy, Charles. It's okay. You got it, Charles. Come on. Just keep coming. Charles, come on.
You saved my life. Well, I couldn't kill you with Stephen around. I'd have to kill him, too, and he's the only one that knows how I like my coffee. What are we gonna do, Charles?
What, am I supposed to have a plan?
Rich man. All anybody wants, take something from you when they want it bad enough to kill you.
You and my wife? I've seen you with her.
20th Century Fox presents Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins.
You want to die out here, huh?
Alec Baldwin.
Money's folk. Sit up there, drinks and golf, but get you in an emergency.
Right.
And you bloom. You make me sick.
I'm sure I do.
Somewhere between the law of the wild and the nature of man lies the edge.
I'm not gonna die. It's today. I'm gonna kill them.
It's not as I imagined it would be, thinking of it in Boston.
Frontier is the only land available to people. Out here, they're beholden to none.
As a new land was being carved out of an untamed frontier.
Just dropped in to see how you boys is doing.
One man, defiantly courageous, stood his ground.
I called all our colonial scouts. What in the militia? I ain't your scout. You sure ain't no damn militia.
One woman, fiercely independent, followed her spirit.
My father warned me about people like you. He said, do not try to understand them. Do not try to make them understand you.
Thank you so much.
They shared an adventure.
It was a war party. That means they're gonna be attacking up and down the frontier.
That took them from the edge of the wilderness.
He saved us. We're alive only because of him. Are those the actions of a criminal?
And into each other's hearts.
Why didn't you leave when you had the chance?
Because what I'm interested in is right here.
You've done everything you can do. Save yourself!
Stay alive, no matter what occurs. I will find you. No matter how long it takes, no matter how far, I will find you.
Academy Award winner Daniel Day-Lewis, Madeline Stowe, the last of the Mohicans.
By special arrangement with 20th Century Fox, Magnetic Video Corporation is proud to offer the following special video presentation.
Can we live with brown bears on their turf? What do you do when a 1,000-pound bear is coming right at you? Is it possible for human and America's largest land carnivore to coexist? Over the next 3 weeks, we'll live right in the heart of the highest concentration of brown bears in the world with no way out. Our mission, to experience a brown bear's life from the inside out, to see the world of the bear like the bear.
Be an insider in the creature world. That's the mission. The Kratt brothers, dropped in remote regions to live with the creatures, through their eyes, on their turf, by their rules. Be the creature.
We're here, way up in the northern hemisphere, flying over Alaska. Now making our approach to the Alaska Peninsula. In these coastal marshes, there are more brown bears than anywhere else in the world.
I think we're going to be seeing them soon. We have so many brown bears to check out and try to integrate into their lives and really experience the world of the wild bear. We're going to get on the ground in this huge concentration of bears, follow them around on foot 24/7, and really try to find out what is Chris, look down there. There are so many.
Once you could see bears like this in California and all over the western United States. Now, only in special places like Alaska. We're here for our third summer in a row. The bears are here because there's plenty of food, and every bear is in a race against time to pack enough food in over a short summer to fatten up and survive a brutal 6-month winter sleep. Right here in this special place of abundant food, the bears have let us in. But we can never forget that bears are dangerous with an explosive power. We always have to be on our best bear behavior.
We're headed right down into the bays there. All right. And close. Yeah, have arrived.
We threw ourselves back into the world of coastal brown bears with no time to waste.
This is ice-cold glacier water. The powerful current. Into your hip boots. Well, the current's pretty strong, too. Woo! Every inch of my hip boots. It almost went right in. I needed every inch.
Chris, a bear. 2. They're grazing away. You know, the idea that bears graze like cows never ceases to amaze me. But it is that grass, that sedge, that's bringing them out here. Big one's heading towards the blonde. He wants to get out of there. All right, okay. I think this bear doesn't want anything to do with this male because bigger bears kill smaller bears. And he may try to use us as a shield, keeping us between him and that male. Because, oh, wow. See the big boar over there? See him, he's headed this way too. He's still coming. This bear just wants to eat. See that half-hearted charge? He's afraid of that big guy. So what's he gonna think of us?
Oh, shut out the pepper spray.
That's all we've got to slow him down if he charges.
He's much more worried about the big bruiser than he is about us.
Yeah, you know, he may have come up to us, though, just as a little added security with that big bruiser. Because now he's moving off as the big male moves over. All right, that's what he's done. He's gotten in on the other side of us, using us as a shield. I mean, he's probably about 4 or 5. He's coming into his own, but he's not ready to go head-to-head with the really mature males who are doing the breeding, who are about 8 and have a lot more weight on them. This guy must be 1,000 pounds. He's pushing them off, claiming all the sedge. It's the urgency of their need to feed that can make a bear dangerous. Whoa. The big guy has actually circled around. and is now focused on us.
Do we need to back off here, Chris?
If we back off now, he could charge.
Better stay put. Oh my gosh, do you see the scar on his back?
That's gotta be painful. And pain makes a bear unpredictable.
He's been fighting. He has been fighting. We can only just stay still.
Because if he learns to push us like we're bears, he might decide to attack us like we're bears.
Look, he's heading towards the younger guy.
He's not gonna let him eat here. This is bear hierarchy in action.
He's focused on that young one who's a threat, and in 3 years, the youngster may really challenge him.
But for now, he knows his place. And we had to remember ours. We were right where we wanted to be, right smack in the middle of intense bear activity. And for our own survival, we had to step back, set up a secure camp before we forayed any deeper into the world of the brown bear.
This here, this is a bear-proof container. This is where we're gonna store all our food. And it's pretty bear-proof. They'll try to get in, but they won't be able to. You need to keep your food safe no matter what kind of brown bears are around. Coastals, grizzlies of the lower 48, Kodiaks, they're all brown bears. And you gotta be careful no matter where you are or what kind of brown bear you're living with. All right, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna make a lot of noise too, just in case. Through this thick stuff, you gotta keep talking. Let the bears know we're coming. So it's good that Chris and I can keep shouting at each other, right, Chris? That's right. Hey, bears, coming through. We're setting up the solar electric fence here and set up our tents inside it. It'll help keep the bears out so they don't destroy our gear. It is an electric fence that's powered by the sun. Plus, to keep our equipment going, we need solar chargers, we need batteries.
We need the essential things so we can record the behaviors that we see and document what it's like to be these animals.
But the most important thing we bring with us is bear experience. Before we could get this close, it took us many years of studying bears, learning about them and their body language. That's critical for any meaningful creature coexistence.
Day 2, 4 a.m. Alaska Daylight Time.
How does it look out there? Oh, it's pretty cloudy, but calm. Pretty warm.
The calm before the storm?
Yeah. Could be a good bear day. Oh, wow.
Watch out for sharks there, Chris.
All right, let's go see what the bears are up to today.
The bears were here in huge numbers. Plus, we'd already seen they're not entirely solitary. They're interacting in social ways. What's bringing them all together is the common need to put on hundreds of pounds of body fat before hibernation. What will help them do this is small, green, tender, and nutritious for only another 3 weeks.
It's called goose tongue sedge, and it's edible for humans. It's actually pretty good. Kind of salty. And this stuff's high in protein, about 25% protein at this time of year. It's a really good snack.
Yeah. Brown bears are carnivores, but as much as 90% of what they eat is vegetation. However, as carnivores, their plant digestion is inefficient, absorbing around 22% of available nutrition, so they have to eat a lot and constantly.
This flat here has been pretty much picked over by most of the bears. You can see he's having a hard time finding some good stuff to eat. A lot of searching, no grazing. Now this is a time when I always get really impressed by the bears.
That water is cold. Even through our waders, we feel it. And these bears move through this wet, freezing landscape.
Water temp, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 Celsius.
He's probably feeling the cold, but he can handle it. There's no frostbite. There's no hypothermia. It's amazing, all natural. These guys can deal with these elements.
With fur and a fat layer that can grow up to 10 inches thick before winter. Being a bear means traveling many miles and through many obstacles to get food. And now their path is our path. But rubber hip waders just don't cut it.
Boy, that's cold water. It really gets your blood going.
Just got to make sure we stay as dry as we possibly can, because you never know when a cold storm is going to roll in, maybe even snow. And then, being this far away from camp, hypothermia can set in no time. All right.
Wow, this is the spot. There are a lot of bears here.
It's busy.
We got to keep an eye on this guy too, though, because he's getting pushed away
by that brown guy over there.
This is good real estate.
You know, if they're all coming up, well, we can't go that way. Who's that? We've never seen her before.
Chris, do you want to back up just a little?
We couldn't let our guard down now.
It's close enough, bear.
Because each bear is an individual, and the outcome of each encounter, uncertain. The bears were coming in from all directions, all jockeying for position on the best feeding spot on the sedge flat, right where we were.
Maybe. There's bears coming together there. He's heading straight for us. Yeah, they're all coming out here to feed.
Hope they don't think we're competition.
It's close enough, bear.
Yeah, let's just keep talking so he knows we're not a bear.
That's a nice big boy. Yeah, you're so cool. It's close enough, bear.
Talking to a bear like this, letting him know who you are and that you're not a threat, is something you have to do to keep it a peaceful encounter.
What a good, strong bear. Wow. Now he's smelling. There's another bear over there that he's looking at and getting the scent of. Maybe figuring out who it is.
They always want to know who's who and what's what out here. A bear relies on his nose above all other senses. When he can smell who it is, then he can tell if there's a threat or not.
Good man. This guy doesn't seem to mind that we're here. This really shows you another side of bears that you don't hear enough about. Peacefulness. Look at this. I'm standing here, Martin's standing here, and the bear is just eating sedge. We're coexisting peacefully. No problem, no conflict. Bear's not worried. We're a little worried, but we're not showing it.
Trying not to anyway. Chris, this Frosty Bear's coming over.
There it is, the chase.
All right, what's going on? Wow. Are they siblings? Non-competitive young males? Potential mates? We don't know, but the point is they do. Martin, behind us, is that another bear?
Yeah. Oh, Chris, mating.
Mating?
Maybe. There's bears coming together there.
2 more. A lot of courtship action out here. Smaller males chasing that female. This female's flirting with him. She's really trying to get his attention. Wow. She got it. That female's running full tilt. That's a 35-mile-an-hour sprint. She wants to see what this male's made of. They're also literally in a race against time. Each has to gain up to 5 pounds of body weight per day to survive the next winter, yet still put precious time and energy into courtship and mating. Each bear has to eat enough for the individual to survive hibernation, yet mate so the species survives into the next generation. Big Bruiser's out here too. He is about as big as they get, around 1,000 pounds. In his prime, or just passing it. Hey, and he's with a female. She can't even grab a mouthful of grass. Why is he pushing her like that? That's why, a rival male. He's trying to edge his way in. He's a new male with a bald shoulder, that's right. He and Big Bruiser both want the same female. They're equal weight, equal size. Oh boy, oh boy. They are both in an intensely aggressive posture. Its back arched a bit, head down, and moving stiffly forward with that jaw popping. And that's saying to the other bear, I am not backing down, I am tough, you're not pushing me away. Oh, look at him ripping into those sticks now. A little demonstration of strength. As a bear who wants to assert himself, he rises up, rubbing his back on branches, getting his scent on it, and ripping the branches, releasing the pent-up energy, and showing to the other bear signs that he is the tougher bear. It's all about that female. As soon as these three started moving around through this flat, everybody else is moving off. A bear like Big Bruiser could easily kill a smaller bear, and would if he got the chance. Bears kill bears, and this one knows it. Bears fight it out, and it's just part of who they are. Uh-oh, they are on a collision course again. This is almost like a game of chicken. Somebody's got to go. Wow. Oh, gosh. They were rough. But it didn't break out into a brawl. Not yet. This may be one of the cases where it takes one of the bears go all the way because both are so determined to win this female. It's could end in a fight to the finish, or maybe finally one of them gives in.
Okay, two male bears, Bald Shoulder and Big Bruiser, had already clashed once. It wasn't over yet. We had to stay with them, no matter how tired we were, no matter how wet and cold.
Did it dry out okay? Oh, so wet.
We had to get back out there because all signs were pointing to a major conflict. But it was like a long, drawn-out siege. Neither bear would give in, neither would attack.
Big Bruiser, Bald Shoulder, and the female pushed between them. While this feud simmered, other bears went on fattening up for the winter.
We found a bear on the beach at low tide digging for clams. If you're a bear digging for clams, you walk along the mud flats, searching for a tiny hole in the sand that signifies that a clam's below the sand. And you sniff. You sniff for the scent of a clam.
Using both senses together.
Once you've found it, you start digging with that huge paw and those powerful claws. It takes a lot of searching, a lot of effort to find these little morsels of meat.
Raw clams are more than 12% protein.
All very digestible meat for a carnivore like a bear. When you get one, you pick it open with your sharp claws. Pry it, basically, with those crayon-sized claws. It's a very delicate operation. She scrapes away the clam shells and slurps up the meat.
But she's not getting it all. See these scraps of meat left clinging to the shells? That's bringing in the magpies. These birds get the leftovers, and they love the bears for it. But what does she think of them? Whoa, did you just see that? She chased a magpie. I'm not sure if that was done just for fun or if magpies just sometimes bug the bear. We all know what it's like having something bugging you when you're trying to eat. What's she looking at? Big Bruiser and Bald Shoulder still at it. And she's aware of everything around her, even when her head's in the sand, focused on clams. Now I really want to find one. Here, I think they're clam holes. See that? That's the clam getting away. When a clam senses danger, she squirts water as muscles contract. She digs for her life. A clam can flee through the sand at 1 inch per second, using her muscular foot as a digging tool. Oh, I think I've got him pinned. I've got him pinned against the sand. This is so much harder for me than it is for her. It's amazing. Oh, okay. There it is. I am exhausted. My hands are tired. My fingers are tired. This small clam was incredibly hard for me as a human to catch.
You gotta use more shoulder, like she does.
That's why she got 27, and you, 1.
It's tough. I know. She puts so much of her shoulder into it. It's amazing. Sometimes she even gets on the ground. You can see that shoulder muscle working.
Those massive shoulder muscles, they give the brown bear her characteristic hump on the back.
So just put some more shoulder into it.
Yeah, thanks.
The interesting thing is she's the only one out here. I mean, Big Bruiser, Bald Shoulder, and the female, they're all up in the sedge still.
Yeah. Those two are relentless, and the female can't even eat.
Well, both sedge and clams have a lot of protein. Sedge, about 25%. Protein.
Chris, they're gonna go.
Whoa! We've got an incredible standoff here between two massive male bears. Big Bruiser and Bald Shoulder are going at it. Wow. We do not want to get closer to that. Look at them. They're exhausted, drooling.
Chris, Big Bruiser came out on top. He's following behind the female closer. Bald Shoulder's right behind him. Oh, he's gonna do a stand-up marking, Chris, to the left, I think. Bald Shoulder standing up. Oh my gosh. Bald Shoulder has a big gash under his neck, you see it?
He got the worst of it. So Big Bruiser, he won this battle barely.
That came out of the blue. We're with the bear with the clams. Now, she's gone, and this fight happens.
I know.
You know, they were sizing each other up yesterday, right? And then they just, I guess it got too much, and they both weren't gonna back down, and they pushed it, and boom, it just exploded.
On the left, Big Bruiser gets the height advantage. He's on top, and they are just stalemated there. And then smash! Bald Shoulder takes Big Bruiser down! He's down! But Big Bruiser gets the flank, pulling, tugging, and Bald Shoulder can't get a hold on top. He can't get anything. Then Big Bruiser makes his, he makes his move with a slash. The fur flies, and that's where Bald Shoulder got the gash. Oh, and that's it. Two huge, massive bears clashing like that. They can only go for so long. They're exhausted. Down they come, panting, huffing.
These guys are clashing titans.
I never in my life thought I'd see a bear fight like that. Wow. Oh, man. Chris.
We'd seen a creature event few people ever see, but it also pointed to a huge problem.
Male bears kill cubs, and with that kind of male battling action, there are no mother and cubs here. And to see that side of the bear's life, we're gonna have to go up to another bay further north. Oh, look at the little ducklings.
Oh, cute.
So now we had to find bear cubs, but it would turn out to be one of the most challenging parts of our adventure.
Day 8, and we were still looking for bear cubs. So we hitched a ride on a float plane flying north to where the sedge flats were more expansive and wide open. We hoped it would be a safer place for a mother to bring her cubs to feed.
We're going about 10 miles by plane, a distance which the bears can cover in a matter of hours. Bears can go over the steepest mountains. They find passes through these ranges, and they can move around where they want to go. And that's just another amazing ability that they have.
Brown bears can have life ranges as large as 1,500 square miles and can travel 20 or more miles in only a few hours.
This is going to be a great place.
So here we were, dropped off again on another wild and deserted Alaskan beach. But of course, in creature terms, we weren't alone.
Chris, grab the camera. A fox, red fox. There's the red phase. Plus the cross phase with black and silver. He's digging for something. Did he get something, Chris? He's working through this grass looking for something. Oh, I don't know, Chris, are you seeing what he's looking for? Is it insects? Or...
He hasn't found anything yet.
But check this out. There's a lot going on under there. Seeds, nuts, insects, rodents. It's very lush under here. He's eating a lot of something. But what? There's a lot of sniffing's going on. A lot of sniffing. You finding anything? Yeah, okay. Nose down. Shallow digging. Find one. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. Do you have one there? Oh. Gobbling it up, moving on, a nice casual pace. What did he find? What's he eating? Oh, whoa, this is what he's looking for. Oh, now that is a juicy snack for a fox. Look at that. It's so juicy, you can just tell. It's plump and probably pretty yummy. In a landscape like this, where foxes aren't hunted, I'm not a threat. See, that's the thing. Humans and animals can coexist. That's one of the things Chris and I are really into, and we hope that other people would get into it. Because if all of us are acting in ways where we can coexist with the wildlife around us, that's the only way that animals and humans are going to be surviving together over the long term. Martin, he's got somebody's reindeer. It's like it's something new washed up on the beach.
He's curious, wants to know about all the goings-on in his turf.
If you're a fox, you're always scent marking your territory. And he's scent marking around our backs with every step because he has scent glands between his toes, too. And the patrol continues. He had the grubs, checked out our gear, and then he's off again. Whoosh. Whose pants did he get? The rain gear.
Yours!
That's
Good. I'd rather have him take mine.
We could already tell this bay was different. Red fox everywhere. But where were the bear cubs? We were betting the success of this expedition that they were here somewhere. First we'd eat, then pick up the search.
I think it's ready. It is? Yep. We don't have time to cook out here. We're much more interested in being the bears.
And finding cubs.
We're just eating some dehydrated food.
It's actually really good though, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm feeling good.
You gotta keep looking around just in case bears smell your food.
Which way's the wind going?
There is none anymore. Can you believe it's 1 in the morning?
Yeah, even with the moon, it never really gets dark in the summer, just twilight.
Oh, hey, bear. Oh, look at that bear patch on his. Well,
he's in bad shape.
Oh, wow, he's a skinny boy. He's got to pack on the pounds and quick to be ready for hibernation. How you doing, buddy? If he only knew he'd get all the food he needs just a short swim away on that island full of seagull eggs.
That's where we'd head, first thing in the morning, to see if a mother and cubs had discovered it again.
Got the skin. This is the back.
The vertebrae and ribs.
Number 2 rib. Now we need 6 and 5.
The skeleton.
Stern hatch open.
It's taking shape. Skeleton's in the sky.
Right.
Building a kayak is like building the body of a sea creature.
Okay.
And we are the muscle and guts, lungs and heart of this sea creature.
It's amazing that a bear can swim 10 miles out into the sea. If we tried swimming in this water, with it being so cold, we might last maybe around 45 minutes before we went unconscious, 90 for death.
We were coming back to the island to see if a mother and her cubs who'd made it out here last year had returned. Would they be here?
Day 9, and we were heading for an island off the coast. Last year, it was a haven for a mother and her 2 cubs.
Chris, I wonder if they'll be back this year. I hope so. They'll be much bigger now. Yeah, a year older, wow. I can't wait to see them. Woo! Yeah! Got a lot of ground to cover. Yeah, gotta get up those mountains now. I forgot how steep they were. Yeah, but that's where the birds like it, right? Yep.
With 3,000 glaucous-winged gulls on this island, their eggs and chicks are a feast for any bear that makes it here.
Last year was such a catastrophic year for the gulls and all the other birds on this island.
It was unbelievable. Those bears decimated the rookery. The gulls could only flock above them, screaming. They were defenseless as the 3 moved through, gobbling up chicks and eggs. It was easy pickings for the bears. Plus, they were the only bears here, so it was safe for the cubs.
That sow and cubs spent almost the whole spring and summer out here on the island. So by the time they were finished, they must have cleaned up the place,
wiping out nearly an entire generation of chicks. What will tell us if they're back or not is how many eggs and chicks we can find.
Just want to pick my way really carefully through here so I don't step on anything.
Because it looks like there are a lot of eggs and chicks.
Oh, he's trying to walk up here. Let's just put him back in his nest. They can keep each other warm. If you're a bear, this is easy pickings. You can just walk along, smelling, stumble right on them. You hear the gulls, right? But you hear that peeping? It's like a beep, beep, beep. It's a real chirp, chirp. That's the oyster catcher. See that black bird right there? And that bird's trying to lure us away from its chicks or eggs that are hidden in here. Okay, the oyster catcher's making a fake nest now. So the oyster catcher wants me to walk over by her. She's making a lot of noise. So now I'm supposed to think as a bear, oh, nest, I found it. And when I go up to the spot where she was sitting, there's nothing there. Nothing, right? And you know, I don't know where this nest could be.
With both parents luring me away, it really adds to the confusion.
I love these oyster catchers.
Finally, I think I found them. Right here, you can barely see them. 3 little chicks. This is a great defense for them. I spent all this time looking for them, and here they are. And they won't move. And you know, they run with their mom. As soon as I leave here, they'll probably pop up and start scurrying off behind their mom. There she is. She's trying to distract. She wants to draw me away, so I'll let her work. She's got her nest here. All right, she's done her job. We'll let the chicks be. The father knows the coast is clear. He's gathering up the chicks.
Hey, Chris! Yeah, how'd you do? Great. I finally found the oyster catcher chicks.
All right.
How'd you do?
Lots of gull eggs. I can't believe it. And chicks.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands. So many more than last year.
Yeah.
There are no bears out here.
When there are bears out here, you just can't miss them.
Right in this spot, we had the most amazing encounter. We had just sat down right here. Yeah, and the driftwood, that piece that the cubs were climbing on, was right there.
Remember? They were surprised to see us and ran back for Mom.
Oh, yeah. And then out of the grass, that's where they came, walking down onto the beach.
Hey, Mama Bear, nice cubs.
They headed straight towards us. At first, they didn't even notice we were there. The mom was looking for seagull eggs.
The cubs saw us again.
Then, steadily, they came closer. And then she paused. She saw us.
Yeah. And the cubs were a little nervous. And then she went up in the grass,
And then she started sniffing.
Yeah.
Huffing a little bit, not sure what to do.
We couldn't get up. We couldn't move because she was only, 30 feet away. And if we'd gotten up, that might have startled her, so we sat tight.
And it looked like she was going away. But then she turned back and started coming closer.
Trying to decide whether she should go around us on the beach or around us through the grass.
It can get really intense when a bear approaches this close, especially a mom with cubs. If she'd sensed a threat, if we'd startled her in any way, we could have been obliterated. We had never even dared dream of getting this close to a mom and cubs. She's in charge and letting us live.
And that was one of the experiences that really got us hooked on bears.
But today, they're just not here. And because of that, it's a completely different island.
If the mother and cubs weren't here, where were they? If they're still alive, they'll be back on the mainland. Somewhere.
Day 18. 2 weeks in and still looking for bear cubs. It would be great to find the 2 cubs from last year, but at this point, any cub would do.
I'm glad we didn't kayak today.
I know, stormy seas out there. You can really start to feel what it might be like to be a bear. You start to understand what they face, what day-to-day life might be like.
So much of a bear's life is spent at a slow pace. Unfortunately, the flat was dominated by male bears, all potential cub killers. There was only one way to find cubs. Wait until a mother saw an opening to come in to feed. So we waited. 12 hours in the bone-chilling wind and rain.
Hey, here we go, on the ridge. Cubs on the ridge.
Of course, scoping the scene.
It can be dangerous out here, especially for cubs. A hill in a flat area with a lot of bear traffic is a great nursery for a mother bear and her cubs. The mother will take her cubs up there to nurse and to sleep, where she can have a good vantage point of any approaching bears who may threaten her cubs. There's so many male bears roaming around. The mother and their cubs can use that as a lookout.
to make sure there aren't any male bears right in the area so they can sneak down onto the sedge flats, have something to eat in safety. But they're a little skittish because of all the males around. Life's pretty tough for these cubs. Only about 35% survive their first year. Most die of starvation, but some are killed by those male bears. This is the place to be, this nursery ridge, because as we're watching her, there's more cubs coming out with their mom over there. Oh, those little spring cubs, born the size of a squirrel, weighing only 1 pound a mere 2 or 3 months ago. That 33% fat milk of the mother is causing explosive growth in these cubs. They're already the size of a small dog and starting to nibble on sedge. And then over here, there's a mother with 2 yearling cubs. Those cubs are about a year old. A big piece of driftwood like this is a perfect spot for 1-year-olds to play. Play is preparation for bigger tests of adulthood, challenges between rival males. And the cubs are using the very same moves and maneuvers as Big Bruiser and Bald Shoulder did in their all-out brawl. These 2 little ones practicing standing up, knocking each other's. Could it be them? I don't know for sure, but she really does look familiar. That face, I can't forget that face of that bear that was approaching us on the beach. And she's very blonde on top and brown on her sides, and I remember that distinctly too. Now the cubs, of course, they've changed so much. Gone are the natal rings. They're big, they're plump, they're fluffy. They're looking more like miniature bears than those spring cubs that they were last year. In the field, we can't say for sure, but I'm telling you, I think it's them. Hey, Mama and cubs. They're learning to look out for trouble. Murder by male bear is a leading cause of cub mortality. The good news is, the area is pretty free of male bears right now, and it's the midday, the time when the male bears tend not to be out here feeding. So the mothers may use this time where they can feed with their cubs in maximum safety. Oh, wow, they are beauties, Chris. She is a confident bear to lie down and nurse like that right in front of us. Wow. After filling up on milk, they just lounge around on Mom. About trouble. We have a bear coming in here to the right. He's heading straight for the cubs, too. His head's up. He's looking straight at them. This bear is making a beeline straight to the mother and cubs. The mother doesn't see him yet. Cubs do. Cubs see him. Cubs spotted him. He is heading straight for them as soon as he came out of the woods. The mother spots him. She's up. She's up now. The mother spotted him. Now she's running. She's off. They're going full steam away. Look at that. They're going full steam. Mother and cubs, they're just taking off. She's teaching her cubs to run when a male bear approaches like that. He's still interested. He's still trailing them. And they are literally running for their lives. He's not finished yet. He's turned course and is heading right towards him. She's nervous. The cubs are nervous. And they're all heading our way. He's steadily approaching them. The mother does not like this at all. Look at the way she's rounding up her cubs. Yeah, keeping herself between them and the threat. There is a theory that males will kill the cubs in order to get the female back into season so that he can mate with her and pass on his genes. He's pushing on her trail way too much. He's just pushing there too much. She's very nervous. There she goes. That was it. That was too much. She couldn't take any more. It's back to Nursery Hill.
That's exactly where she's headed. All right, they're safe for another day. She is a good mom. And he's lost interest. When you see a mother bear taking such good care of her cubs, you start wondering, does the mother love her cubs? And when you think about it, she's doing the same things a human parent does when a human takes care of their kids. So it gets really hard the more you get to understand these bears to think that love is just exclusively human. I mean, the more I see animals, the more we really get into their lives, the more you start questioning how far we've separated ourselves from other animals and whether we're really that unique, that different, and that special. All right, at the end of our expedition, we've gotten to know the brown bear as the heaviest hibernating, shoulder-powered digging, plant-grazing creatures who are generally peaceful unless they're provoked.
Who are mainly solitary but social when coming together around a common food source.
And who, above all else, need a remote wilderness area where they can simply be a bear.
We've got to get out before low tide.
And we leave knowing just a little bit more about what it's like to be a bear in a bear's world.
It was a secret government program known as Project Destiny.
We're building a weapon that could generate targeted seismic events.
Designed to use earthquakes to attack our enemies.
I'm getting a seismic reading.
It was a perfect, untraceable weapon.
Destiny is a go.
Until something went wrong.
That's an electrical superstorm.
Popping up all over the world.
I'll put this as simply as I can. Everybody on Earth is dead in a year.
The core of the Earth has stopped spinning.
The spinning core protects us from cosmic radiation.
Without it, radiation will create superstorms. Microwaves will literally cook our planet.
How could this have happened? It was Project Destiny. We killed the planet.
So, how do we fix it?
We can't. The core is the size of Mars. You're talking about jump-starting a planet.
What if we could?
We're here about your legendary ship.
What would it take to get it in 3 months?
$50 billion.
You take a check?
We need you to control the flow of information.
You want me to hack the planet? I'm gonna need Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets.
You are good. Is there anything you can't do?
Not that I'm aware of.
You're trying to save the world. It's impossible. I came here to save my wife and children. I just hope I'm brave enough to save 3.
I can't wait to get into an untested ship, go to the center of the Earth, and restart its core with 1,000 megatons of nuclear weapons. Then we outrun the biggest shockwave in history.
Hot damn.
San Francisco is in ruins. The whole West Coast is out. And it's decaying faster than we thought.
2, 1. We're going in.
Whoever goes into the core is not coming back.
We're losing oxygen!
Breach!
We got a job to do. Let's do it.
Good morning, Southern California. We're heading for a high of 75 degrees.
Didn't take long to get our first SIG alert this morning.
This morning's shaker surprised all of us here in the Fox 11 newsroom. This was a small to moderate earthquake.
Epicenter in magnitude is in for a 10 spot.
Epicentered in Palmdale.
Palmdale.
If a dam breaks and the mayor calls, I don't want you telling her Rourke went fishing.
Okay, we don't pull her off the slopes for even a 4.9.
Gas explosion in the MacArthur Park area. Rescue crews.
Public Works lost 7 guys. What's going on? Freak accident on the storm drain. They hit a steam pipe and got scalded. Steam did that?
Steam doesn't chart tissue like this. Methane? Something else.
We got a problem. Number 4 trend westbound. Temperature on board reads 20 degrees above normal.
That lake was 62 degrees yesterday. Today it's up to 68.
That's a sunny day.
It takes a geological event to heat 1 million gallons of water in 12 hours.
What is a geological event?
Mike, come in. What's going on?
It's tremendous heat. This is no good. Get out of here. Get off the train. Get off the train.
Please do not leave your home.
Somebody tell me what the hell is going on.
There's got to be something feeding this. When it hits black, it's gonna punch through.
You mean you're rough?
Yeah. It's just exploded.
It's going crazy. The fire's popping off all over the city.
The west side is 1 million people.
There are gonna be 1 million dead people if we don't evacuate. When Mount St. Helens blew, the force was greater than the Hiroshima bomb.
Listen up, let me tell you what's south of us. No more museums, no more department stores, just homes.
Moses couldn't reroute this. It's everywhere.
It's not enough time. I need a demolitions team. Everybody out! LAPD, National Guard. Put as many people in front of it as it takes. If we turn and run now, they're going to be defenseless. You don't like my plan? That's good. Give me another plan, but don't tell me we're backing out. We're going to take this thing to the ocean.
In a city where anything can happen. On April 25th, it will.
Please stay calm.
Now you can learn to take better pictures with these video cassettes from Kodak. For the serious amateur, step-by-step approaches to composition, lighting, lenses, filters, and film principles. For more advanced photographers, on-location tips from professionals. And for everyone, the best of Kodak's photo travel films. Over 20 programs available to you now from Kodak, the people who wrote the book on photography.
What's the story, Wishbone? What's this you're dreaming of? Such big imagination on such a little bud. What's the story, Wishbone? Do you think it's worth a look? It kinda seems familiar, like a story from a book. Shake a leg now, Wishbone. Let's wag another tail. Sniffing out adventure with Wishbone on the trail. Come on, Wishbone. What's the story, Wishbone? What's the story, Wishbone? What's the story, Wishbone? What's the story, Wishbone?
So, this is what it means to be bored. Let's see. I've counted all the ceiling tiles, I've buried everything I own, and I've checked the house several times for intruders. Ugh, What I need is some genuine, tail-wagging, nose-sniffing excitement. Ah! We're under attack! Oh, wait, it's a tree? Okay, you've just seen a tree walk across your front yard. What are the implications of this? Trees are supposed to have roots, not legs. What if trees have suddenly sprouted legs? What if they're all trying to walk away? I'm in big trouble if I...
Ah! Oh, Wishbone, watch out!
Ah, you caught it! Good job, Wanda!
Wishbone, watch where you're going. Okay. Do you need a hand? No, I got it. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, hold on. Oh!
Don't let him get away!
Okay. Well, you know, maybe I do need a little help. Here, you guys push the wheelbarrow, and I'll find the right spot for the tree. Okay, over here, guys. Follow me. That's good. Oh,
Good idea.
Yes.
Let's get that thing back in the ground.
Well, this looks like the perfect spot right here. I think this would be pretty good. Hey, kids, bring it on around here, and I think... Oh, no. If we put it over here, then we'll get the sun from this direction, and we can put... Oh, guys, come on. Okay, let's set it right here. Good. Okay.
Wanda, what exactly are you doing?
Well, what exactly are you doing?
Sam, you read my mind.
Well, you know, today is Arbor Day.
Arbor Day? The day we celebrate trees.
For your information, I celebrate trees every day.
Right. The day we consider how important trees are to us. Well, they provide shade and beauty and produce oxygen for us to breathe. Every year on Arbor Day, I plant a tree. And this year, I said to myself, Wanda, why don't you be a good neighbor and share your joy with someone else? And so I decided to plant a tree for you and your mom. But I could be persuaded to let you guys help.
Well, okay.
That's the spirit.
So where do we start?
Well, you dig, of course.
Did someone say dig? Now you're talking my language.
I've got a couple more shovels out back. I'll go get them. Be back in a jiffy. Oh, here's some water in case you get thirsty.
This is going to be great. Joe, you start. I'll keep an eye on the tree. Ah, the smell of fresh dirt in your snout. What can possibly top that? I've got some plans for you, tree. Joe, your digging is really great. Top notch. Look at this big piece. But why don't you let an expert show you how to do it? Whoa!
Digging machine.
Know why dogs love digging? It's because we're driven to find out what lies below. Every dig is an adventure. Like the novel, A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. This science fiction fantasy takes place in the summer of 1863. 3 men travel all the way to Iceland to follow a secret path to the core of the Earth. And where do they begin? Inside a volcano. The first of our heroes was named Axel. He was much more at home reading a book about adventure than actually living one.
Uncle, we have to stop. This is sheer lunacy.
Next there was Hans, the guide.
Hans, surely you can see that we will never make it. You must make my uncle understand.
Hans didn't speak much, and he didn't want to cross the leader of the pack, Professor Liedenbrock.
Uncle, we still have time to turn back before we are lost.
Nonsense, Axel. Look what I've just found. The letters A and S.
So?
Don't you see? AS. The initials AS. Arne Saknussemm, who claimed to have gone to the center of the Earth 300 years ago. They are a sign. Proof that we are on the right track. Onward to the center of the Earth! In the volcano's interior, Professor Liedenbrock and company discovered huge underground caverns. They pressed on, continuing their search for the trail left by Professor Saknussemm many years before. It was hard work. And young Axel began to get discouraged. Axel, my boy, how are you holding up, huh?
Uncle, we have to accept the truth. We've gone the wrong way. And worse, we have no water. I can't go on, not a step further.
Axel, take my canteen. Drink. It's the very last mouthful. I saved it for you.
My dear uncle, thanks from my heart. Uncle, hear me. We have no water. We've lost the trail. We must go back.
So, Axel, those few drops of water have not restored your courage?
Courage?
Surely you know, when you encounter an obstacle, you find another way to reach your goal.
You don't want to go back?
And give up this expedition? Never!
We shall die down here.
No, Axel, my boy. I am far from desiring your death. Take Hans and leave me. I will go on, alone.
I cannot leave you. But unless we discover water, our hours are numbered. What?
Warten!
What did he say?
He said, water!
Have you gone mad? You expect to get water from rocks?
No, no, from behind the rocks. Listen, the sound of moving water on the other side. It must be a subterranean river.
We must make hold.
Maybe we should save some water for Wishbone.
Yeah, he's the one doing all the digging. What was that?
Pay dirt!
What you got there, boy?
I just dig the stuff up, pal. I don't analyze it.
It's just a piece of junk.
It tasted old, too. Ugh.
I don't think it's just a piece of junk. Well, there's only one way to find out. Come on.
Hey! Where's everybody going? Hey, guys!
Wait for the dog!
Well, can't get all the dirt off.
And why would you want to get all the dirt off? Hey, I found it. I say we leave the dirt on. For flavor.
One side is plain, and the other side has an inscription on it.
Well, what does it say?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I can tell you it's in Latin.
You studied Latin, didn't you, Mom?
Well, a half a zillion years ago in high school.
You're that old?
Let's see. Honoris.
Honoris?
That's the genitive case, so of honor.
Oh, I knew that.
And then fortitudine. Fortitude, strength. And then I can't tell you much about the rest.
What's that there at the bottom?
Oh, it looks like initials.
Ah.
NJ.
NJ. Yeah. Maybe it's a piece of jewelry.
Maybe this NJ person owned it. Maybe we found something really rare and valuable. Archaeologists dig up cool stuff all the time. Ancient pottery, tools, even animal fossils right under the ground we walk on every day.
Yeah, but this is Oakdale, not Egypt or some really old place like that.
Hey guys, face it, we won't know for sure until we find out.
I don't know. I've got a feeling about this thing. It's gold. 100 miles below the surface of the Earth. This is the real mother lode. Ah, amazing! Axel, come look at this. Axel? Where's Axel?
Uncle? Uncle, where are you? Hans? Uncle? Hans? Why was I fool enough to let my uncle talk me into this? To listen to his crazed babblings? I could be home right now, reading, my lamp casting its light over one of my books.
Axel!
I'm delirious.
Axel!
Uncle, is it really you? Where are you?
Speak into the wall! Speak into the wall! Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The granite conducts your voice like wire conducts electricity. Keep talking and we'll find you.
Uncle, I'm here. I got lost and fell. Can you still hear me?
We are getting closer. Yes, close indeed. Stay calm, Axel.
Axel? It's you.
Wishbone, you finally found something real this time.
That's me and my nose. Boldly going where no dog has gone before.
Maybe it's from some secret society.
Yeah, the inscription could be some kind of code. Can you translate some more?
No, I'm sorry. I wish I remembered more of my Latin.
I could get the dictionary.
What are we gonna do?
What we've been doing, people! Let's go back out there and excavate the site! Read my lips! Dig! Dig!
What is this?
Jewelry cleaning solution.
I think it's working.
It's soft. I think it's gold.
Gold.
Hot diggity dog!
Maybe it's a part of some pirate's buried treasure.
Yeah, but we're not near an ocean.
I don't know. Oceans turn up even at the center of the Earth. Our travelers crossed an underground ocean. They just missed out on being snacks for a sea monster. Good work, Hans. That was close. Let us move inland before our little friend decides to take a stroll on the beach. Axel, my boy, do you know what you found?
A bone.
Not just any bone. It's part of a mastodon. Up on the surface, they're extinct. But down here, like our sea monster, possibly the mastodon still lives in these very jungles.
Uncle, I have to admit, this has been a marvelous trip. I apologize for doubting you in the first place.
Ah, forget all that, Axel. We have more work to do.
A dagger? But whose? The weapon of some ancient warrior?
No warrior. It is yet another clue. We are still on the right road to the interior of the Earth. Follow me! Over here! The initials AS again, carved on this rock wall to indicate a tunnel behind this boulder. We're on track.
Not so fast. It's blocked the tunnel completely.
Then let us go to work with pickaxes, with crowbars. Down with this barrier. We must press on. Use anything.
But it's far too big to be destroyed by just a pickaxe or crowbar.
Then it is useless.
Wait. After all we've gone through, we can't be beaten yet. No ordinary tool shall we use on such a rock. What we need is gunpowder.
Or gun cotton, to be more precise. 4 times more powerful than gunpowder. Well done, Axel, my boy.
Let's set the charge.
All right, Axel. Light it. Take cover!
Uncle, do you hear that?
Yes!
What is it?
I believe that we may have made a mistake. If my calculations are correct, we may have unleashed the volcano! Then bring to a boil and serve immediately. Hey, Ellen! It's dinner time!
Hello, Wishbone. Hey, guys. I found my old Latin book.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Food's ready.
You know, maybe it's a Roman coin.
I wonder what the Latin is for come and get it.
I don't think there were any Romans in Oakdale.
It's not a coin. It's a medal.
A medal?
I think so. There's a date, 1864. And that should give us a clue.
Well, how?
Well, let's think about it. What was going on back then?
People were eating dinner.
They were building lots of railroads.
And eating dinner.
There was a gold rush out west.
And they ate dinner.
Don't forget the Civil War.
Of course.
Yes, lots of soldiers eating dinner.
Okay, here it is. A decoration for the sake of honor, for military bravery, and...
It must be a medal given to a soldier. Maybe from the Civil War.
Well, whoever the recipient was, he must have been some kind of a hero.
Well, is that this NJ person?
Well, I don't know. There must be a backing piece to the medal.
How come?
Well, the inscription stops in mid-sentence. It has to continue on the other side.
And that's why the other side is plain.
The backing piece must have fallen off somewhere.
Well, if you can find it, you'll know who NJ is.
The hole.
Well, finally, you decide to come back. Hey, now that's what I call digging.
Power digging!
Hey guys, I'd say that's about it. I mean, I think that's deep enough. Kids, you should stop.
Wanda, it's okay. They're just trying to find something.
We're in the shaft of an active volcano? Yes, and it's the best thing that could happen to us. Right, Hans? Yeah. It's our only chance to get back out of here. Axel! Hans!
Where are we? Rete per vostra vice! Il vulcano is failed!
We must be in Italy!
We made it! Back from the center of the earth!
Another eruption!
I tried to tell you! You done dirty, but you hit your sprinkler line!
Oh, Wanda, I'm so sorry.
Well, see, there was this medal that we found.
I got it!
Wait a minute. What was that, Wishbone? It can't be.
It's the other piece of the medal.
Way to go, Wishbone!
Thank you. It was nothing.
Outstanding courage, awarded this day, May 5th, 1864, to Noah Johnstone.
NJ! Did you say Noah Johnstone? Colonel Noah Johnstone? And this is his medal? I can't believe I'm holding this. This medal has been lost for years. Until now.
How come you know so much about this guy?
This guy was also the first mayor of the town you live in. Why, tradition has it that Noah Johnstone planted many of the original oak trees in Oakdale. Thank you. Thank you so much for finding this. I would love to add this to our collection down at the Oakdale Historical Society. Well, I mean, if it's okay with you? What? What do you think, Wishbone?
No time for chit-chat, Wanda. I'm on a streak.
Wishbone?
I've got new treasure to find, new lands to explore. Onward to the center of the earth! Jules Verne described the descent to the center of the earth, writing, "The sides of the shaft were getting closer and closer together. We were approaching the regions of eternal night. Our crew was moving underground. This was a major task for our art department."
When I first read the script, I was wondering how we were going to do this show that takes place in the center of a major volcano. We used a ton of styrofoam. Huge blocks of foam were literally glued together by the carpenters, and using research pictures that we had, they carved that foam with everything from razor knives to the claws of their hammers, and suspended between the actor and that set wall were these little stalagmite pieces. So it gave the sense that the person is surrounded by the cave environment.
So much for life inside a quiet volcano. Now we had to activate it. Bring on the special effects!
For a journey to the center of the Earth, we generated 2 different explosions, clouds of smoke, and then also helped to split the Earth open.
First, we dug a trench where a gas line was hidden. We need gas to create the fire. Then,
once they were blown out of the volcano, we blew debris into the air. A lot of smoke drifted by, and even had flames coming out of crevices.
Here's how it looked in the show. Pretty cool. Well, hot, actually. You know, about the only thing more exciting than a journey to the center of the Earth is a journey to the end of a good book.